The other day, I had a meeting with representatives from Germany and from Germany, a German organization called Medico. And in our discussion, something came up about China and the inroads that China is making in Africa and what we think about it as a movement and whether we plan to do something about it and all that. And my response was that China, China is two-faced. China has the cooperation phase and it has the solidarity phase. It has the cooperation phase that it does with governments, African governments, and for Kenyan example, and as Kenya for an example, they are working with now the current Kenyan dictator Ruto, and so you have that as a cooperation phase, like the face of China. And then you have the other face of China, which is solidarity, where, for example, they will send embassy representatives to Communist Party of Kenya events and stuff like that, like provide some level of solidarity to the individual. But that is as far as it goes in regard to Kenya, in regard to Chinese solidarity with Africa. It's very minimal and it's very negligible to some extent. Because I guess to them as an imperialist power, because you consider them an imperialist power, because for them, I guess they are more interested in that cooperation with the governments because it means more money for them or more money for their people. Yeah, so that was my understanding of the Chinese question. And then I also said that in regards to Chinese and whether or not as social movements in Kenya we should be combating them. And my response was that China is not our immediate enemy. China is not our immediate enemy. The immediate enemy is our historical enemy, which is the global north. And when we talk about the global north, we're not talking about the citizens of the global north. We're talking about the governments and the international policies that these governments have from the global north, where they consider Africa as a place to come and extract stuff, where they consider Africa as a place void of human beings, void of human experiences, and all that. And so, for that reason, purpose, that China is not a target at the moment. Our target at the moment is our historical enemy, which comes from the global north, and there is a difference between the governments of this of the global north and their people. Their people are good people. Even in Israel right now, where we have a genocide taking place, there are Jewish people who are against the Zionist government. So what do you do with them? They are innocent. So we welcome them to the circle of humanity. What we are against is the Zionists genocide that they are carrying out in Palestine. So yes, in regard to China, China is not our immediate enemy. Something else that people need to take into consideration is that when we consider solidarity a little bit more deeply, you will find that the citizen of the global north have stood in solidarity more with the people of Africa than we've seen, say, China. I can't talk about Russia because there is a lot of history about Russia in Africa, but I can say that for the Chinese, there is little or very little citizen to citizen interaction or engagement or solidarity. Maybe that's where some China could do something different. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to talk about China because at some point it will ever come, one day it will come up, and people will wonder my thoughts at that particular time, or my thoughts in this particular time, and those are my thoughts in regard to China and how we should handle China.